Let me say good morning, everybody. Morning. Absolute pleasure to be here with you. I'll put this here. I hope it yeah, good, excellent. Let me just ask you to do something. I believe that if you're going to listen to something about Jesus, you need to be relaxed. Do you agree with that? Who agrees with that? Absolutely. We need to be relaxed. And that's the reason I'm going to ask you to do something very small. It doesn't require a lot of movement, actually, but it's cool and you will love it. What I'm going to ask you, just to spin towards that direction. So if you can just spin your legs like just towards that direction. And what you're going to do, you're going to put the hands on the shoulders of the person in front of you. So you have to spin a little bit. You put the hands. That's right. You know, that's right. You see, this is very important. This is very important. And now what you're going to do, you're going to give them a small massage. Give them a small massage. Like, you know, like do it. You know, it's so good. You see, you're loving it. That's the way church should be like this. Now it's time, right, for small Chinese chops. We call them Chinese chops. You know, that's right. You know, and then on the end, just give them a big hit on the back. That's right. Now let's turn that direction. Let's turn this direction now. Yeah, that's right. Put the hands in front. Good massage. That's right. Yeah, it's good, absolutely. And now I Chinese chops together. We can do a sound as well. And then boom. That's right. Absolutely important. That's the reason why we love church. Because it's good and comfortable to be in it. I don't know you, and I would love to know you. I believe that all teenagers in the world are the same. They have this disease called puberty. They have these issues as well. Like, you know, the one thing also they like to do is hibernation. You know, you like little bears, you go to a room, you lock your own, you know, and then you sleep there forever. Your mom and dad like, you know, we need to wake her up or wake him up because they need to eat, otherwise they're going to die. And teenagers pretty much everywhere I've been, it's almost the same. I'm just wondering about these teenagers in Australia. Is the same? Absolutely. Let me tell you a story, guys. Let me tell you a story, and then we're going to go to Bible text. I was born in Serbia. It's a beautiful, peace-loving country in the middle of Europe. We did not do anything bad in the world, except started the First World War, contributed to the Second World War, and then had a few other wars as well. But that's right. We didn't have a war for the last 20 years. You know, we are bored to death. You can just imagine people, oh man, no war, 20 years. Okay. But what happened is, say, I have this Serbian passport. I'm not sure about how much you know about Serbian passport. It's a red passport with an eagle on it. It's a terrible passport to have because you have to have a visa to go anywhere. You know, do you know what is a visa? You know, that small little piece of paper which tells you can travel. So I have to have a visa anywhere I go. You know, there were days when I need a visa to go to toilet. Excuse me, can I go to toilet? I said, do you have a visa? I said, I don't. I said, well, I'm very sorry. You have to go outside. So I was flying to America. Once in my life, I was invited to go speak in America. And I was so excited. But you don't know this part. Serbian people and American people, we used to love each other. But then something happened. I'm not sure what, and we just don't like each other anymore. And so when I came to America, I had to have a visa, and as I arrived there, similar to Australians, you have to fill the landing card. And the very interesting thing about this landing card, you would find it funny as well, is the first question was simply this. The first question was this: are you spy? When you ask me a stupid question like this, my mind goes crazy. I was like, they just asked me, am I a spy? In my mind, I was thinking, I can see how I'm standing close to the immigration office like this. I'm a spy. But please don't tell anybody. I was thinking, who would ask this question? Second question was even more ridiculous than first. First was, am I a spy? Second question was, am I carrying domestic animals? I'm like, I know I come from Serbia, but I'm not from England. Do I look like I'm carrying domestic animals? Do you really think I can feed a goat in my bag? Third question, it was more ridiculous than the first two. They asked me, am I carrying snails? I was thinking, is this what Americans are afraid of? They're afraid of a spy? Spy? Who's carrying a goat, and the goat has a pet snail. Is that right? The snail is called George. So, as I was going through immigrations, I realized there was this fountain of water. And the water simply said a free refill, drink as much as you want. I wanted to drink as much as I wanted, but the fountain was empty. Which simply said that the immigration was very stressful for many people. So as they passed this, can you just make it a little low? As I passed this, I tried to drink, but there was nothing there. In America, it was very interesting. Everywhere I went, I found a place which was offering a free refill. You have free refills in Australia as well, I know that very well. My friends, I went to this restaurant and they were offering free refill. You can drink as much as you want. You know, I went to Nando's. Nando's was offering the same thing. Free refill. You can drink as much as you want. I went to the hotel. I usually don't sleep in hotels. My friends, you know, because I'm from Serbia, they put me in a small office. I sleep on the floor usually. This time, they gave me a hotel. Scary place, man. I remember this, you know, they came to the reception desk, they gave me a small plastic card which looked like a credit card. I was like, look at how beautiful these Americans are. I just arrived in America and they gave me a credit card. And they looked at me and they said, it's not a credit card, sir, it's your key. I said, I know how the key looks like. Key in Serbia is this size. You have it in the pocket, and when you lose your key, you walk faster because it's so much lighter. And I went and they gave me a key, they went to my room, they opened my door, they put the plastic card, the door open. That same night I went to speak, came back home to the hotel. I went to the elevator, I couldn't remember which floor I was on. You know, I remembered I was 13, but the elevator only had 8 floors. I walked into the elevator, you know, I walked in the elevator, I was like, which one to choose? Because I remember it's 13, but they don't have 13 floors. So I pressed 8 because that was the highest you can go. I went there, the door opened, and I came out. You know, I looked around. Your parents do the same thing, you know that? Do you remember when your parents, you know, you're sitting in the living room and your father walks in like this? Do you know what happened? He forgot what he came for. So what he does, he goes back and he walks into the living room again. He's hoping that something will trigger. I did the same thing. I walked into this elevator again, I came out, I looked around, I couldn't find, I didn't know what to do. So what I decided to do is I decided to take my plastic key, my credit card, and I went to one of the rooms and I put a key in the door. The light turned red, which meant I can't enter. So I moved to the next door and I put a key into that door, the lights remained red. I was doing that a lot, and until I came and pushed the key and somebody opened the door. And I'm standing there, hello. And the person looks at me, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm lost. And he says, what about you go to reception and ask reception where you live? I said, that's a very good point, thank you so much, sir. I went to the elevator, I came down, I went to the reception, threw the plastic key on the desk. I said, why didn't you write the room number on my plastic key? And she says, that's for security of your room. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, if you lose your key, you know, somebody can go into your room and steal your stuff. I looked at her back and said, I'm sure my room is secure. Because even I can't find it. And she laughed and she gave me this key in the room. And he was on 13th floor, but the second elevator was going to 13th floor. Americans. But that night, oh, I can say American, that's right. But that night, I would not survive. Because I was hungry, I was doing this. I was like, dude, I'm going to die from hunger. So what I did is when I came to reception, I saw this stand, the popcorns, and the stand said free refill. Eat as much as you want. You see, I'm Serbian, but I'm Adventist as well. Adventist people love free things. That's right. I was standing and watching the stand, you know. I didn't want to go take it. I thought it was a trap. I was like, it's a trap for Serbian people. Or Adventists, doesn't matter who it is. And I was standing watching the couple came and filled the paper bag and walked away. And I was watching, is somebody going to chase? And nobody chased. I went there and I filled 6 bags. And I walked away to my happy room. That's where I ate. That same tomorrow night, my friend took me to this restaurant called Taco Bell. I'm not sure do you have it here, but you have it. He's going to kill you. Don't eat it there. Okay? He's like, who knows what I had inside it? And we went to Taco Bell and we ordered the food. And after we ordered the food, this lady behind the counter, she was so nice. She pushed this massive thing across the table. She said, sir, this is your cup. And it's free refill. You can drink as much as you want. I picked up this thing which was this size. I said, this is my cup? And she looked at me. She said, yeah. I said, do you know my grandmother? She has a bucket the same size. She feeds chicken with this bucket, you know that? And then I looked at my friend and I said, is she saying to me you can eat and drink as much as you want? You know, you can drink the bucket and then you can go refill the bucket again? And he looked me in the face, he says, yeah, that's right. My friends, I was so impressed. Because we all love free refill, is that right? Do you love free refill? Put a hand up. That's right. Do you go to Hungry Jack's just because of free refill? Is that right? That's right. That's right. Because you're Adventist. Because you're Jew. That's the reason. That's right. We love Hungry Jack's. Because Hungry Jack's gives this free refill. You can drink as much as you want. On the way back to England, I was determined to find out something. I was determined, is it possible that Jesus can be this deal? Let's be very honest, it's the best deal you can have. And I wanted to find out, is it possible for Jesus to be the free refill? And then I was looking through this text and I found this text which I'm going to share with you. And I found that Jesus can beat the deal. I came to England and I found out Pizza Hut has a free refill. Every place has a free refill. And I found that Jesus has the best deal in the universe, which I don't want you to miss, because it is the best deal in the universe. The story goes that Jesus was walking through Samaria, the land of people who were very different, well, very similar to Jews, but different. And Samaria is a land, I don't know how much you know about history, but it's Jews and Samaritans are brothers and sisters, but Jews were purer, and they refused to marry somebody who was not a Jew. But Samaritans, they married anybody, but they married Jews as well. And so Jesus was going through this land, and as a good Jew, you would miss this land, but you would do anything. You would put detour on your GPS just to miss this land. If you remember, you see, I'm a Serbian, my wife is from Croatia, and there were days when the Serbian people would go to the Croatian border, and they would turn a sharp left, and they would go all around just to miss the Croatia. And Croatians were doing the same thing. They would come to the Serbian border, and they were like, no, detour, and they would go to Romania or any other place just to miss the Serbia. And the same thing was happening in those days. The Jews and Samaritans did not socialize, and Jesus, guess what? He's Jew, 100%. He has a certificate, 100% Jew. And he's walking through this place, and he comes to this well, and he decides to make a break there. And that's where we're going to stop. But let me tell you, this is taking place around the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles is a beautiful holiday. I don't know what is a very happy holiday in Australia. In England, it's Christmas and New Year's. We're all happy, yay! And then we go home and we're like, we're depressed for next month, but that's right. Because it's just hard in England. We have no sunshine whatsoever. You took it all, you greedy people. And then what happened was very simple. It was happening around the Feast of Tabernacles. And let me tell you, it was the happiest feast in the Jewish calendar. This thing was happening, this event was taking place around the Feast of Tabernacles. And the very interesting thing about Feast of Tabernacles is the high priest, the pastor, this guy here, he would take a golden jug and he would walk to Pool of Siloam. I would love to see that happen in Melbourne. High priest takes golden jug and he's walking to a pool like this. And let's mug him. And then he would take the water from the Pool of Siloam, and then he would go back to the temple. In those days, believe it or not, they did not have text messages. I know it's very hard to believe for you guys, because that's where you live. And what he would do, he would come to the temple, and he would come to the altar of sacrifice, and then he would pour the water. And those guys from Lilydale School, they would be Levites, they would be priest musicians, they would blow the trumpets, and as they would blow the trumpets, everybody inside of the temple and outside the temple, they would all start rejoicing, and they would shout this. They would shout, with joy we draw water from the well of salvation. And then the party would start in the church and outside of the church, and people will rejoice. And if you just follow a few verses down the line, you find Jesus who stands up in the middle of the crowd, like a party breaker. Jesus stands up and he says this, whoever is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. Everybody wanted to follow Jesus because Jesus had this deal. I believe the best deal in the universe. So Jesus is going through Samaria. He comes to this well. As he comes to this well, he is resting. Disciples are doing what they're doing best. They're going to eat food. They're like, let's find KFC. And the disciples go and they search for food. Jesus is sitting there at the well. Samaritan woman approaches and she looks Jesus, and Jesus looks her, and Jesus asks her this question, can you please give me some water to drink? The Samaritan woman looks at him and she said, what's wrong with you? And then she goes into this line. She says, you're a Jew and I'm Samaritan, and you want me to give you the water? She says, don't you remember we're not supposed to socialize? I don't know how it's in your family, but in my family, people who are the most similar, they argue the most. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Same thing in my family. My mom and my brother, they're so similar. And my mom would say this, and my brother would say that, and I know what's coming next. And I'm like, can we stop here? Because I know what you're going to say, I know what you're going to say. Can we just go to the end? And you say sorry to each other. Let's go. Chop, chop. It's dangerous to say that to your mother in Serbia because she's a... Don't talk to me like this. The Jews and Samaritans are the same. They're so similar. They're brothers and sisters, but they refuse to socialize. They refuse to be together. You know, Jewish people, they're saying, we are special people of God. And Samaritans, no, we are special people of God. And then Jews says, well, if you want to worship God, you have to worship in a temple. And Samaritans, nope. If you want to worship God, you have to worship on our mountain. And they're all the same in just different location and different people. That's it. At this point, I want you to stop here because this is a very interesting moment to stop. You have a well, you have Jesus, you have a Samaritan woman. And guess what? Two people who are thirsty standing next to a well, and then nobody's drinking water. Jesus' body was thirsty, and mouth and throat, but the woman's soul was thirsty. And I'm looking this, as everybody else. And I see this debate happening on the well. You know, the Americans, they love to have debates. They have debate 1, debate 2, debate 3, debate 55. And they just have debates. And I look this as a debate in the well. On one side is a Jesus, on the other is a Samaritan woman. I choose sides all the time. It's in my genetics. Certain people have to choose sides. We choose this side. And I'm sure you choose the sides as well. So it's your option who you're going to support. There is Samaritan woman, there is Jesus. I support Jesus because he's God. That's right. I don't like to lose. I love to win. And I go with the most powerful player all the time. I'm not like somebody who watches game and, let me support somebody who nobody supports. I don't do this. You support that. I support a winning team. That's right. And now I'm watching Jesus and I'm watching Samaritan woman. And the Samaritan woman comes to Jesus and Jesus says, can you please give me the water? And she looks at him and she says, no way. We don't socialize. And I'm like, you know what? Jesus, 1 point. Samaritan woman, big fat 0. Let's see how far you're going to get, woman. That's right. Let's see how far you're going to get. And the next thing what happens is Jesus looks at the bag and he says, listen, if you ask me, I will give you this best deal. I will give you the free refill. I will give you, the deal which runs into eternity. And I'm looking at my Jesus, my Savior. And I'm like, Jesus, 2 points, Samaritan, 0. Let's see what goes. And the next thing that happens to every single man. I'm talking to men right now. Which thinks they can win the argument against the woman. She looked at Jesus and she says, you going to give me something? And then she goes into this destruction of Jesus. She lays in and she says, you going to give me something? And then she says, you don't have a bucket, no rope. You don't have a well. And then she goes, are you thinking that you're greater than a man who made this well? And she goes on and she goes on. And I'm thinking, well, this is it. The winning team just lost. Do you know what she really said to Jesus? This is what she said to Jesus. She looked Jesus in his eyes and he said, what do you want, Jesus? What do you want? And then she looked and she said, look at me, I have the bucket and the rope, I have everything. I have my tribe, I have my family, I have the tribe, I have the village, I have the well, Jesus. What do you want, Jesus? How often do you speak to Jesus like this? How often Jesus comes into your life and he says, let me give you the best deal. And you look him in his eyes and you say, what do you want, Jesus? I have my name, my surname, my family. I have the best school. My parents drive a good car. We have a big house. We are rich, Jesus. And guess what, Jesus? I have many buckets and many ropes. I have many wells. What do you want, Jesus? And then on top of this, just to make it worse, he said, well, guess what, Jesus? And everything I have is insured. So I really don't. What do you want, Jesus? I heard yourself and I heard myself talking to Jesus so many times. Your iPads and iPods and phones and everything, you're just trying to put that thing instead of Jesus. And Jesus is saying, no, come to me. I have the best deal. I have the free refill, which takes you to eternity. And this beautiful story changes dramatically from this moment. Jesus looks back and he says, listen, whatever you have, whatever you drink, you'll be thirsty again. But if you come to me, I will give you this deal. I will give you the best deal of the universe, the free refill. And something in the man of the woman clicks. And she says, you know what? I want that deal. I want to have the best deal in the universe. I want to have this water which never stops running. And I'm gonna just go to the next story, which happened to me when I was a child. This is the last story, guys, and then you can start thinking about your lunch, because I'm thinking about lunch already. When I was a child, I wasn't even a teenager, man. You guys are cool. I was like a little child. What's child is, that's it. My brother and me, we would every single summer we would spend our holidays in Serbia on a farm with my grandparents. How many of you spend a little bit of time on a farm? Not too many, because that's right, it's dangerous, isn't it? They have these dangerous animals, like chicken and stuff like this. My dad was a pastor every single summer. He would take us to the village. And the reason he would take us to the village because he believed that this natural environment is good for us. And my brother was 7 years older, and he's still 7 years older than me. He can beat me up any day he wants. And me and my brother would pretty much be deported. Mom and dad would put our bags in the car, and they would say on the 22nd of June, get in the car. And we would be outside. Yes, sir. And we would go in the car, and my dad would drive to the village. And as we would arrive in the village, we would go wild. We would open the door. As we would open the door, we would see these animals. Little fluffy chicken walking with two legs so strangely, and all these things. And we would follow. And we were like, dude, this is so cool. And the moment we would arrive in the village, me and my brother, we would open the season of hunting on chicken. And guess what? We would go and we would take a plank of wood. Okay, before I tell you about plank of wood, let me tell you, no animal was recorded, and no animal was hurt in recording of this story, by the way. Because we were useless, absolutely useless. We would take a plank of wood this size, and what we do, we put a nail here. That's right. We wouldn't hit the chicken with the nail and the plank. What we do is we put a rubber band here, 3 of them from which you can find the chicken in the kitchen. Chicken and kitchen for me as a foreigner is very, 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 very similar. And even though this is animal and this is place. And then you would put these rubber bands, and then we put another nail here with a pack for drying laundry, okay? And then you pull this rubber band all the way there, and then you squeeze the corn in between the rubber band, and then you point this plank into chicken like this. And you're not a chicken, I do apologize, but at the moment you're the closest. And then you press this, and then the corn will fly like crazy. Me and my brother would go there and we would make these weapons. We are very good in that. And we would fill our pockets with corn. And guess what? Me and my brother, we would go hunting. In Serbia, summers are hot, almost like here. Like 35, 6 Celsius, all right? So me and my brother, I was small, so he would push me first. He considered me as a collateral damage. If chicken eats him, who cares? He is small. My mom is bringing another brother, that's right. So I was going in front, and my brother was big one, behind. He was constantly doing this, like a black ops, or whatever it is. And we would go, and we would search for chicken, and then we would find this chicken, like in Call of Duty, in the corner. I was scared, because my brother told me it's dangerous. He can eat me. And my brother was behind me, and he would do the same thing. And then the moment you do this to chicken, you probably never done this. You shouldn't do it because it's not good for animals. The moment you point things towards chicken does start doing this. It's a nervous walk, and he's watching you. Wait a minute. Does that not look good? What to do now? And the next time my brother he would give a command, he said, fire! And me, I'll try to hit it in the head. And a chicken is doing this. You can just imagine how a chicken was traumatized. That's like you're walking on the streets of Melbourne, and somebody takes McDonald's and burger and throws it in your face. You're thinking, I eat these things from McDonald's. That the McDonald's trying to hit me in the face. Same thing for chicken. Chicken is here. I'm eating this corn from flour. Starting in the corn is trying to kill me. We would go around and we would hunt for chicken every single day. We were so ready. We would go on a mission, and we would search for another one. You know what? We never managed to hit the one chicken, man, for 2 or 3 years in a row. And then around noon, we would get thirsty. We would get thirsty because it was so hot. And then we would go to the house. We wouldn't go inside of the house to drink the water like the rest of the civilized world. We would go to the house. Because for me and my brother, the water which was coming from the hose was a better taste than one inside. In our minds, the hose was going to a different place. And my brother would be 7 years old, and he would look at me, and he would say, go to the tap. And then he would take the hose and he would put it in his mouth. And I would go to the hose, like, and to the tap, and I was like, do you want me to turn it on? And my brother would be like that. Come on, man, come on, come on. And I'll be there. I'm like, are you sure you missed the train? You know, I have to ask this because he's older brother. You know, he can destroy me and not go to prison pretty much. Are you sure? And my brother would get really annoyed. He'd be like, come on. And I'm like, no, I'm turning on. I was turning on all the way. A little tap, just like shaking like crazy. You know, I could hear the pressure going into the hose. And on the other side, I was able to see my brother with the hose in his mouth, very big eyes. Like he knew what was going to happen. And then the water would enter his mouth. And he would just explode. The water was coming on his mouth, on his nose, on his ears pretty much. My brother was drowning in the middle of the desert. And this is what happens when you come to Jesus. And when he says, take the best deal, take the free refill, this is exactly what happens. Jesus is not like a man in a cinema who gives you a drink until a certain line he thinks you should have. Jesus is not like somebody of your friends who give you how much they think you should have. Jesus always gives you the free refill until the point he thinks you should be. And every single time you take Jesus and take the best deal in the universe, it comes to the point that the water starts overflowing. And then you are in a situation with my brother. You're like, oh no, what to do now? Some of you would choose to try to keep it. And you would, and Jesus is saying, no. This is not for you to keep it. This is for you to give it. And then you go back to your school. You stand in the bus station. You talk to your friends. You can tell them about Jesus, which has the best deal. Because you're not giving from what is yours. You're giving from what is overflowing. Because when you take the best deal from Jesus, he makes sure that your soul, your cup is always full. But what he does is he gives you a little bit more so you can share with others. Amen. So the Melbourne can hear about the best deal, the free refill, which runs into eternity. So your friends and my friends one day can be with us in heaven forever, my friends. What about you? Are you a little bit thirsty today? I am. I am thirsty today, but not of other drinks, how much I'm thirsty for Jesus. And Jesus is giving you this opportunity today, as he was giving to the people 2,000 years ago. He's saying to everybody, whoever is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. How many of you would like to here today to grab the cup of the best of all refills in the world? How many of you, if you have a little bit of courage, put a hand up. That's right. Be bold and be brave for Jesus. If you don't want to put a hand up, that's fine. That's fine. It's no problem at all. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Because I want you, I really do want you to take the best deal. I want you to take the free refill from Jesus. Because you and me can make this difference in this beautiful city. And the fact is this, we cannot do it without him. You and me can go on the streets and we can try to witness for Jesus without Jesus. And we can be there all day and all night. You can lose weight witnessing for Jesus. You can actually go there and you can change your complexion because you're in the sunshine, you're burnt. But the fact of the matter is this, you and me cannot do this without him. And you know what? You don't want to live the life without him. Do you know why? Because this is the best deal. Amen. You love the free refill. I love the free refill. And we have Jesus, which is going to give us that deal. God bless you all. Amen.